morning guys from Vietnam, and today we're going to cross the border into Laos. I'm in Dien Bien Phu, and come on along and check it out. It's going to be epic. Let's go. So 12 or 13 years ago I stayed in one of the guest houses just here, and I remember the first time I ever tried smoking a hookah with tobacco in it was probably exactly where that one is in that white bucket over there. I think that's the same guest house actually, quite sure. There's a place here on the corner where the buses park up. This used to be the main place, but now the main bus station is actually about 5 kilometers out this way. The airport's just through there. Oop, here comes a bus there. Oh, there goes the bus. Early morning, it's busy. Everybody's getting busy. That's Vietnam. The busy people building up their country. This little street here, you'd see down the end there's the Victory Monument from the Battle of Dien Bien Phu. This little street here has most of the guest houses. Well, not most, but most of the older ones. When you cross the bridge, the first street, or the first street on the right has a bunch of guest houses as well, but I've been staying on this street and waiting for the van or bus, minibus or whatever to go to Laos. Should be here any minute. And I was lucky that I could get my passport issued with the visa for Laos, because these days the border crossing up here doesn't issue tourist visas to everybody to go into Laos. So luckily these guys could organize that. But I stayed in, let's see, I stayed in here one night, and I stayed in that place there for a couple nights waiting, and it was all good. Had a great time here. So the border crossing we're going to check out today is called Tay Trang on the Vietnamese side, and on the Laos side it's called Hang Hoc SOP HUN or something like that. Yeah. All right, so we're gonna get started in a minute. So I gotta find my passport. They haven't brought it to me yet. Well, the minibus is about 20 minutes late so far. It's 20 past 7. Got these guys yelling their heads off outside the local noodle shop. The owner of the noodle shop also runs a guest house next to it. She doesn't seem to have a problem with the guys waking up all her guests. You get a lot of that in the region, I must say. All right, my chariot's arrived. Well, we had the usual thing where they piss around and turn up 30 minutes late, and then they try to be like, hurry, 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 and try to rush you. And then they tried to stuff me in the back of the bus in the little corner, even though the bus is like mostly empty, which is very common in the region as well, but I wasn't having any of that. And then I pulled my YouTuber card and insisted on getting a seat up in the front where I can film a bit, so that's good. Then they stuffed a few packages in there and they're all ready to go, and we're on the road. And got a woman over here yelling into her phone to someone with the video on as well, with video calling. Quite standard anyway.
Hello.
12 to 13 years ago I came through this way, and it was spectacular. Let's see how it looks now. Okay, made it to Trang. Time to stamp out of Vietnam. Let's see how we go here. Should be all good. Well, the Vietnam side didn't ask for any tea money, no bribes. Now we're rolling up towards the Laos immigration checkpoint to check into Laos, although officially we're in Laos already, and we'll see how we go if they try to ask for tea money or not. Let's see how it goes. Try to keep the camera out of view of the guards for a minute here if we can. Here's where we stamp it over here. Well, they tried it on with getting a bit of tea money, which I didn't pay. I said I had no cash at all. The actual guy who works driving the van here gave him a small note of some kind, of some Vietnamese money, to make them hurry up. So, okay, all good. I think it's fair enough. The price I paid for this minibus is 250,000 dong, by the way. It's, yeah, pretty fair price for these guys, I think. Well, I really don't mind letting the guy who works on the bus slip the Laos immigration a small note like that, because as foreigners generally we're overcharged for everything anyway, and yeah, I would say the price of the bus ticket was probably a bit inflated as well. It's just the way it goes, you know. The guest houses take their commission, and the bus people quite often bump up the ticket price a bit as well to get more from their side, so they're doing all right. Don't worry about that. You know, been doing this stuff for quite a long time now, so I know how all this works, and yeah, it's the way it goes. So they're doing quite well, and I'm doing all right as well. So far, so good. little blip on the map is called Muang Mai. Muang Mai. First town of any size we've passed through since we've crossed over into Laos. So far, at least. See a guest house there. This is the delightful town of SOP HUN. SOP HUN, yeah. I'd probably be sobbing if I had to stay here too long as well, but I guess if you're born here, you'd be used to it. It's probably a nice spot for a short while, but I wouldn't really want to end up in a place like this because it's not even a one-horse town. It's like maybe a one-goat town, or yeah, that's about it. But nice view of the river though. Can we catch up to this beer Lao truck? That is the question. All right, I just jumped out of the mini bus. In Muang Khua. It looks like it would be pronounced Muang Khua, but it's pronounced Muang Khua. That's what I've heard people saying. Anyway. So guys, that's cool. We've traveled all the way from Den Ben Phu this morning to Muang Khua in Laos and passed through the border crossing there, and that was quite interesting, and was very nice to do it without having to pay a bribe, I must say. You know, it's the principle that matters. Really, you know, of course, most people don't want to get stuck at the border, right? I'm not saying like everyone should refuse to pay a bribe. What I did was pretend I didn't have any money at all, right? But yeah, if people don't try and do something, you know, things don't get better, do they? That's the truth. But most people these days, they like to look like they take a stand for something that's good, but you know, only if there's like a kind of a nod, wink kind of thing going on from officialdom, and then they'll go along with that and pretend like they're making some kind of a stand, but it's just for show for most people these days. And then people complain about the world being the way it is. Well, it's pretty nice here right now, I can say. Let's have a look and see what 200,000 kip gets you. That's about $9 American and 50 cents. It's a nice room with a view here. Aircon. Comfortable bed, actually decent mattress. Bathroom, let's check it out. Okay. It smells like they've killed any bacteria with serious detergents of some type. And this fantastic balcony here. What an amazing view. Look at that. Beautiful. Absolutely brilliant. Free tea and coffee here. Nice spot to sit. Some books here. That's my room. Got the fantastic view there. What's that book? Thailand for Retards. What's that? Well, there are a lot of those types who do go to Thailand, I must say. So could be a market for that, I guess. It should be, right? Sink here if you want to wash yourself outside in front of everybody. Step up from the neighbors, isn't it? But yeah, cool. I love it. Could stay here for a long time, actually. Good spot to disappear. For a year or two, or All right, guys, thanks for coming along on this little magical mystery tour today. And if you haven't already, please hit subscribe and like and hit that bell button so you get updates of future videos. And if you would like to hit the Buy Me a Coffee link, I'd really appreciate it. And I promise to put the money to good use, making more videos for you guys. All right, so that's about it. So see you in the next one, and don't be late.